So we want to get back now to the mountains, the Boone area specifically. We mentioned more hard work is happening as we speak to repair homes and rebuild lives there. You could see just a few of the images here, belongings pulled out of homes, personal items left on the side of streets. Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich has been spending the day there. He joins us now live. We see that big pile of debris behind you, Brad. I'm sure this is a very common image that you're seeing around that Boone area.
Yeah, I mean, just a massive amount of apartments here at the Bavarian Village Apartments, where the Winkler Creek came up here and flooded the whole first floor, flooded the Walmart over here. You saw the images from downtown Boone, and now this is all the contents of the apartments out here, as well as all of the sheetrock that had to be ripped out of the walls and put behind me. So they're still working really, really hard over here. But I want to bring in a local, resident here, and this is a good friend of mine, Kenneth Reece from WataugaOnline, and this has been a pretty traumatic event. And we talked earlier about the things going on. There's still a lot of people being rescued. As we're talking, helicopters are still flying out of the Boone Airport. What is the biggest need up here? Because I think it's really important that folks that aren't in the mountains know what is still needed here now 10 days into this.
Donations are still needed. However, a lot of the resource centers and shelters have been inundated with water and diapers and material things. Much like with any disaster, money is key, because obviously this is going to be a long-term event. And, an important point to think about too is, since this will be such a long-term event, the need to donate and help out right now is great, as it is with any, weather disaster. But this is going to be such a long race that, if you're not able to donate right now, that's okay, because there will be plenty of time down the road to be able to do so.
Yeah, and so one of the things we've been talking about, and I've been hearing from other folks in Boone, Blowing Rock, some of the areas that are starting to come back, business owners are really concerned about the hit on tourism and people coming up here. Obviously, there's been a big push to keep people away, but there may be some areas where we need to get people up here, and maybe in modified tourism. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, local officials here are encouraging more day trips than overnight trips, because most of the hotels and motels are booked with volunteers, linemen from not only North Carolina, but all across the nation are here helping out. And, obviously they have to have somewhere to stay. So the lodging is an issue. As a matter of fact, there is talk, not confirmed, that App State may move their home games off the mountain, because folks coming to the games would normally get into these hotels and motels, and they're just full right now. So the alternate plan to that is encourage a day trip. Come up, have breakfast, have lunch, have supper, shop at a business that's open if you can, but respectively go back home, because everything's booked, and we need those available spaces as more resources come in to help out.
Yeah, and that's, I think, is going to be a growing concern that we're going to see. The folks are already impacted by the storm, but now their paycheck is being impacted by the lack of tourism dollars. So how do you kind of deal with that and deal with that, as well as the fact that, as Kenneth mentioned, what are folks are going to need on November 7th and December 7th and January 7th? So we're going to need help in the long haul. So that's the one thing I'm noticing being on the ground up here, and the people still need help, but it's going to be extended over a long period of time, Vanessa.
That's a really good point about talking about supporting the tourism out there, because I'm thinking about how many stories we've seen in the wake of Helene of not only, of course, these businesses taking a hit from folks not being able to stop by, but these businesses we actually see in turn turning around and trying to help the community with what they do. So if they're a restaurant, a lot of times they're serving the neighbors in that area who don't have access to food and whatnot. So if folks are looking to support that, that's a great way to do that, is to support the businesses.
Yeah, and I think that's why money's important, because as I look at these apartments, I know these people are out of their house, but they might also be out of a job because they are waiting tables, or they're cleaning Airbnbs that normally people would be filling up right now. They may be taking part in the festivals that have all been canceled. So when you think about those monetary donations, maybe direct donations to folks and businesses that are impacted, and some way to maybe get that tourism money back up here, because it's going to be lacking over the next several months.
All right, great points, Brad. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll remind folks too that our Jane Montreal recently did a piece you can find online about unemployment relief for folks who might be out of a job right now directly because of Helene. So look on our website for more on that. Meantime, let's talk